lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia.
Deceived and utilized counterfeit documents to secure the interview with my mother, made sensational and untrue allegations regarding the royal family. For many years, the world has been fascinated by the life, charm, and lasting legacy of Princess Diana. Often called the people's princess, she was cherished for her elegance, empathy, and authentic connection with the public. However, beneath the glamorous royal exterior was a woman profoundly dedicated to her most treasured role, that of a mother. Now, following years of silence and conjecture, this heartfelt letter to her eldest son reveals her deepest thoughts and maternal commitment. It all commenced quietly in July 2004, when a London auction house offered several handwritten letters from Diana. Among them was one particularly touching piece that instantly attracted attention. Unlike official palace documents, which are usually curated with care, this letter was unrefined and intensely personal, directed to a trusted family confidant, Violet Collison. Violet had been a part of the Spencer family for decades, observing Diana's transformation from a reserved aristocrat to one of the most recognized women globally. These letters illustrated not only Diana's changing role in the public sphere, but also her private life as a daughter, friend, and above all, a mother. One notably poignant letter, dated July 8, 1981, just weeks prior to Diana's wedding to Prince Charles, provided a glimpse into the whirlwind of her royal preparations. Her tone was light-hearted and whimsical, stating, "Everyone's racing around here, fixing up last-minute stuff, but the bride's keeping her cool." In just a few lines, she encapsulated the warm and relatable essence that endeared her to people worldwide. Yet, as time progressed, her letters grew more reflective and emotionally complex. The thrill of her initial days as a royal bride transitioned into feelings of frustration, concern, and a profound focus on her sons. Perhaps the most touching was a letter from June 21, 1989, written on Kensington Palace stationery and addressed to Sergeant George Plum of the Special Escort Group. She conveyed heartfelt appreciation for arranging a motorbike exhibition at Prince William's 7th birthday celebration. "It was incredibly kind of you and your team to be present today for William's special day. I cannot express how much happiness the event brought to all the children and their mothers," Diana noted. What made this letter particularly meaningful was that it wasn't solely signed by her. Accompanying her signature were small doodles from William and Harry, representing a simple yet treasured family moment. Diana's personal letters transcended mere sentimentality. They provided a glimpse into her relentless efforts to raise her sons in a manner distinct from previous generations of royals. Committed to offering them a life as normal as possible, she distanced herself from strict royal customs. Diana aspired for her children to grow up with an understanding of the world beyond the confines of the palace. According to her former bodyguard, Ken Worf, she frequently took William and Harry to amusement parks, permitted them to enjoy fast food, and even utilized public transportation. This was not for the sake of publicity, but rather because she wished for them to remain grounded. In a royal setting where stringent protocols often eclipsed personal relationships, Diana established her own guidelines. She protected her sons from the unyielding media scrutiny, negotiating photo opportunities with the press in return for their privacy. She recognized the impact that constant attention could have, and was prepared to confront both palace traditions and public expectations to safeguard her children. Andrew Morton's insightful biography, Diana, Her True Story, highlighted the challenges of maintaining that equilibrium. Diana had faced the unrelenting scrutiny of the media herself and understood how damaging it could be, particularly for young ones. Her correspondence with friends and confidants was not merely informational. They were subtle reflections of a mother striving to equip her sons for a life that would be anything but conventional. When these letters resurfaced in 2004, Prince William was a young adult pursuing his studies at university. The world had yet to witness the complete transformation of the man he would eventually become. However, through Diana's words, we were reminded of the principles she diligently sought to instill in him: compassion, strength, and kindness. Her voice, immortalized on paper, served as a beacon in his life, continuing to illuminate his path long after her premature passing in 1997. Diana's identity as a mother was characterized not by grandeur, but by small, significant acts of love. In 1982, at the young age of 20, she welcomed Prince William into the world and embraced motherhood with unwavering dedication. She defied royal customs by choosing to breastfeed him, a decision that was nearly unheard of among royal women at that time. Furthermore, she personally selected his name, demonstrating a level of involvement that was seldom seen in royal births. One of Diana's most pivotal parenting choices occurred shortly after William's arrival. When Charles was scheduled to travel to Australia, royal protocol would have dictated that William remain in the care of palace staff. Diana, however, firmly insisted on taking him along. This action conveyed a powerful message. No royal obligation could overshadow her responsibilities as a mother. As William matured, Diana persistently challenged societal expectations. She enrolled him in a local nursery school near Kensington Palace, breaking away from the tradition of private tutors within the palace. Observers were often astonished to see the princess herself dropping William off at school, effectively merging royal life with everyday experiences. These actions were not merely expressions of independence. They were deliberate declarations of intent. Diana aimed for her children to grasp the realities of life rather than merely existing within the confines of privilege. Her excursions with William and Harry to venues such as McDonald's or the London Underground were not arbitrary. They were purposeful lessons in empathy and humility. According to her former bodyguard, Ken Worf, she even donned subtle disguises to safeguard their anonymity. More than just a respite from royal duties, these experiences enabled the boys to engage with the world outside their royal bubble. Perhaps her most enduring legacy as a parent was her commitment to charity. Diana took William to visit Centrepoint, a charity dedicated to homeless youth, demonstrating not only philanthropy but also humanity. She aimed for her sons to recognize their privilege and leverage it to effect change. Even as her marriage to Prince Charles deteriorated in the 1990s, Diana remained committed to her sons. Following their separation in 1992, she continued to be a consistent, hands-on presence. She selected emotionally supportive schools, participated in plays and sports days, and wrote thank-you notes to teachers. Far from being distant, Diana was a mother resolute in her desire to remain close. By the time Diana engaged in her now famous 1995 interview with Martin Bashir, during which she candidly discussed her challenges, her steadfast dedication to her children was evident. She prioritized emotional intelligence over tradition and love over protocol. Her message was unmistakable. William and Harry were not merely heirs to the throne. They were boys she cherished deeply and intended to safeguard at all costs. Princess Diana's letters, her everyday actions, and her quiet defiance of tradition all pointed to one undeniable truth. Her sons were the focal point of her existence. She wished for them to mature into kind, compassionate individuals, aware of the world beyond royal confines. And although she is no longer present to witness their journey, the values she imparted to them endure. These rediscovered letters transcend mere relics of the past. They are heartfelt messages from a mother who dared to rewrite the royal rulebook, who prioritized family over formality, and who left a legacy that continues to inspire. Through her own words, Diana reminds us of what truly mattered to her. Not the crown, not the limelight, but the profound and unbreakable bond between a mother and her children. If you found this narrative moving, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this one.